The bliss of the abyss, it's here now.
Hello, welcome to the show. And you're going to hear me say that again in a minute because this was a slightly unplanned, unprepared podcast. I was midway through recording and I got a message from my friend Tom Leo, and so I decided to call him on a whim. So the second half of this podcast is my chat with Tom, and before that is me being mad. So it's a bit of solo cast half, and then Tom Leo, the very funny comedian, very good friend of mine. He's hilarious, and he's going to be doing more comedy coming your way soon, is the second half of the show. And boy, howdy, do we get into it. If you want a man to cross a bridge for money, then you need Mr. Tom Leo. Hello and welcome to another episode of The Bliss of the Abyss with your host, Mr. Robert Neumark Jones, aka Ruskin Denmark. How are we doing out there in podcast land? That's another word for the world. How are you? Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Eid, Happy Ramadan, Happy... what else is there? Chinese New Year, that's going to come up at some point. Happy Valentine's Day, Happy Mother's Day, Happy Father's Day, Happy Siblings Day, Happy International Taco Day, Happy Taco Tuesday, Merry Monday. Yes, I'm back. Back to normal. Service has resumed, and that means more nonsense, more fun, more spirituality. That's right, you didn't realise, but we're actually ranking very highly in the spirituality category. This podcast is deeply spiritual. What is at its heart? Well, God, of course. How have you all been? I feel like it's been a while since I've spoken to you, apart from that little bonus episode last week. I've been okay. Thanks very much for asking, mate. Cheers. Thanks for asking, actually. To appreciate that. Yep, back in here, back in the new year, back doing dry January as usual. Might even do sober October this year as well. I'll do dry Jan, sober October, and dry July. Ooh, that works. All right. Okay. Time to do one for every month. But they don't have to even rhyme, though. Dry January doesn't rhyme, right? Dry July, sober October. I'm not going to do it, am I? I mean, no one wants to hear me fumble my way through every month going, Dleb Feb. It's like, well, that didn't work. Try again. Zeb Feb. Heb Feb. Jeb. Jeb Bush. Jeb Bush, of course, doesn't drink. Jeb Feb. There we go. Don't know if Jeb Bush sober. Remember Jeb Bush? He went sober for October. Jeb Bush is a sober, serious. Well, there we go. We're not going to know. I don't think he's out there as teetotal. To our American listeners, actually, have you heard this expression, teetotal? Caitlin was new to it. Teetotal, which means you don't drink. And I always thought that was like weird. It was like, where's the T come from? Teetotal. So I actually learned this the other day. These days, the way we would say it would be like total with a capital T. Like, I don't drink. Total with a capital T. I'm teetotal sober. But that's what that means. It's still an expression that we use in the UK somewhat. And it means, I don't booze, I don't drink. I think teetotal only refers to alcohol, though. So you can still be on the rhino horn and whatever else you might want. Whatever else you might require to get you through the day, the afternoon, the morning, the evening, the night. But I am on the wagon, off the wagon, on the wagon of sobriety. And it's quite fun, actually. So, because what happens, actually, my insomnia flares. I realise how boring just normal life is. I get a lot more work done. I just booked a voice job this morning and did 2 the other day. So that's nice. That's starting to work a little bit. So those are all the good things, including being really bored the whole time. No, it's nice. And Caitlin's on the wagon with me too, and that's good. So we have some camaraderie there. And those are the good things. And then the bad things are, you see? So it's very simple, actually. So maybe, now this is something that I always think every time I give up alcohol for any amount of time, I'm like, maybe I just won't drink again. Maybe this is me done. Maybe this is me done. Maybe I could be that guy. I'll be that guy. And I'll be like, fast forward 15 years, be like, yeah, haven't had a drink in 15 years. That's peppermint tea. Stop judging me. But then I think, am I going to be that guy? And the answer is no. Because I like a glass of wine with dinner. Is that so wrong? I like half a bottle of Jack with a KFC. Is that so bad? So anyway, it's a new year. It's new me. Everything's changed. Everything's the same. I'm still terrible at fancy football. I don't talk about that on this podcast because it's a constant humiliation. I'm still teaching a lot. Still doing a lot of voiceover. Haven't booked an acting gig in a while. I've been doing less podcasting of late through illness. But I haven't booked an acting in a while. I did last week. I had a couple of days filming on a project that I am under contract and not to talk about. And I've got a potential thing. Has there been any announcement coming up? Which would be amazing if it happened. But, you know what that's like. You know what that's like. So Caitlin's going through this thing right now of wondering how it's possible for me to audition for things. I think to people who have jobs, the idea of constantly trying to get jobs the whole time is exhausting. It's well, I do that as infrequently as possible. And I think that's most people's attitude, and I wish it was mine. I would not prefer the singing and dancing that I have to do every time. La da 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 da. Look at me, I can do this thing, I can do that thing, I can da ba da ba da ba do ba do. But I tell you one nice thing about being on set is they can do your hair and your makeup. Now, I can do a bit of makeup on myself, all right? I can make the lines disappear, and I look but a youngster again. But I have no idea how to make my hair look anything other than ridiculous. And then you get professional, and they do it, and they're like, bing! Oh, you can do that. And it's usually a mix of sprays, gels, and creams. Sprays, gels, and creams. And occasionally over the years, what I've done is they're always very lovely people. You always get chatting with them and stuff, hair and makeup. And it's weird. They're actually always just all very lovely, chatty people. And so over the years, occasionally I'll be like, this product's really working. Wow, how do you do this to my hair? I can't do this. Wait, what product is it? Just out of curiosity, what product is that? And they'll show me the product. I'll go and buy the product. I'll take the product home. I'll try and use the product, and I won't be able to do it. And what should I do? What? Watch a YouTube tutorial, huh? Watch a YouTube tutorial. Do you think there's such a thing as a tutorial? Oh my god. This could be a Google whack. Are you ready, people? Chewtorial. No results for Chewtorial. Yes! This happens but once in a lifetime. Now, what would a Chewtorial be? Okay, so this is for your people who are overweight and trying to lose weight. Now, I have heard that you have to... How many times are you meant to chew your food? I've heard it's meant to be sort of like, please chew your food 15 times before you swallow. How many times to chew food? So these people, if they're eating it too fast, these people, well, me right now, I'm still slightly overweight. Slightly, easy. You're a fat lard ass, aren't you, Robert? Yes. Okay, don't talk to me that way, Ruskin. All right, I'm sorry, mate. Okay, here we go. This is from healthline.com. Take from that what you will. Chewing your food. When you think about eating, you may think, oh no, I do accept cookies, of the work that happens in your stomach and intestines. Indeed, I do. But the entire digestive process starts in your mouth with chewing. You don't say. Can we skip to the good part? Can we skip to the good part? One of those TikTok songs. When you chew your food, it gets broken down into smaller pieces, which are easier to digest when mixed with saliva. Chewing allows your body to extract the greatest possible amount of nutrients from the food you eat. Experts have a lot to say about chewing. A lot. Imagine being an expert about chewing, and you've published multiple papers on the subject. Yeah, sure. It's a tutorial on subjects. It takes fewer chews to break down soft and water-filled food. Yeah, right? Right. The goal of chewing is to break down your food so it loses texture. Is it? Isn't it just so that you can swallow it? Chewing 32 times is a common piece of advice. Food that's harder to chew, such as steak and nuts, may require up to 40 chews per mouthful. Foods like watermelon require fewer chews, as few as 10 to 15. Okay. This is all a lot. Should we see if there are any studies? Hold on, let me scroll down. Experts say the faster you eat, the more food you will tend to eat. Chewing your food many times at a slower pace can reduce your overall food intake. Okay, so there we go. So a Chewtorial would help you reduce your overall food intake so you don't overeat, so that you don't get overweight. So you stay at a healthy weight, healthy mind, healthy body, healthy booty. In one study, 30 healthy women consumed meals at different paces. The women who ate slower consumed significantly less food, yet felt fuller than those who ate quicker. In another study, chewing more during mealtime was found to reduce snacking on candies later in the day. Wow. And apparently, in one study, experts found that chewing almonds between 25 and 40 times not only suppressed hunger, but also increased people's ability to absorb nutrients from the almonds. And then, can you believe it, there's a whole subsection entitled How to Chew. This is the Chewtorial. I've been wasting my life. I think that every morning anyway. But this is what I should be doing with my life, shouldn't I? Shouldn't I be on... I could be an influencer. Is there a pun there? Thinfluencer, that's already been done, and that's not really what I want to do. Chewfluencer obviously doesn't work. Chewman, that's not bad. I mean, it's not great. I'll give you that. How to chew. Can we guess this? When you're eating, there is a right and a wrong way to chew. Here's how to get the most out of your meals. Don't overload your spoon or fork. Food should stay on without falling off. With food in your mouth, close your lips and start chewing. Your tongue should move the food from side to side and your jaw should rotate slightly. What are we, cattle? Get the cud within your bit, move side to side and up and down. Remember to stare into the middle distance and occasionally grunt. Chew slowly, counting to 32 with each bite of food, thus removing all joy and spontaneity from meal times. You may need more or less time depending on the type of food. Once the bite has lost all texture, you can swallow. Once it's a complete mush, once it's turned into a thin gruel, you may swallow. Not chewing food enough can lead to bloating, diarrhea, heartburn, acid reflux, cramps, nausea, headaches, skin problems, irritability, malnutrition, indigestion, and gas. I've got all of these things. I have all of these things. Wow. Food fix, feed the bloat. Now, this is all very well and good, but did anyone say Chewtorial? No. Nobody. Not a single person on the internet said Chewtorial until this guy came along. And I am going to be the first tutor. Tutor. I'm going to be a tutor. Tutor. I'm already a tutor. Chewtorial. I can't. I don't think it's going to work. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. So let's go. Hold on one sec. Come back. I just had to do a bit of administration for the nation. So yeah, thanks for the feedback for last week. Was it last week? What I like to call the Bath-isode. If you haven't listened to it, my God, you're missing out. What a special time it was. Caitlin's just messaged me saying she wants Domino's pizza. You know you're not allowed that, darling. You know you have to wait till March. Don't you? Where is she? MUAs. That's what Caitlin's been watching this show on Netflix about makeup artists. And the amount of times they go, MUAs is maddening. Which is, of course, the acronym for makeup artists. Is it an acronym or an initialization? MUAs. So MUI. Ooh, who's this? Tom Leo. MUAs. Get ready. To be a top quality MUA. Now, Tom Leo, he's messaged me. He's listening to me in the bath. Now, of course, he quit his job, didn't he? Let's see what he's doing right now. MUAs. Please grab your brushes. I'm sorry, MUAs. You have lost. Pick up your brushes and get the fuck. I can't remember what they say. But you know how on those shows it's always like chefs, pack up your knives. Or whatever, right? It's always like, get your bag together and get out. MUAs. And then it's always also super positive as well. MUAs. Anyway, it's enough of me saying MUA. I have got to do... What have I got to do?
The bliss of the abyss.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
What's going on?
You alright, buddy?
I'm good.
What's going on,
What's
mate?
Oh, just out for a stroll.
Yeah? As you're a man of leisure now.
I'm a man of many leisure, yeah.
Yeah. You know what's weird is like I meet people, they become my friends, and sooner or later they no longer have a job.
And you think you're the key ingredient in that
I'm
mixture, do you?
the common theme from my point of view. I understand that's very selfish.
You're a catalyst, that's what you are.
I'm a catalyst, yeah. I take people from employed to recently, no longer. How's it feel? Do you feel free?
Not yet. I'm still in the mindset
Tom
of
Leo.
getting up and going to work.
Are you like waking up at like 7 a.m. being like, gotta go?
Not only was I awake before my alarm today, but I was awake before my partner's alarm, which is considerably earlier than my own, and awake before her, which was all very unnecessary, given that the moment she left for work, I got straight back into bed with a coffee and browse the internet.
Straight back into bed with a coffee. Okay, so you're not trying to go back to sleep unless you've got some kind of crazy endocrine system, which I don't understand. But...
Yeah, I've had so much coffee in my life, it now puts me to sleep. It's like warm milk for the soul.
So how many days is it that you've been officially jobless, free, however you want to call it?
I believe that the 17th of December was my final day, I think. Yes.
That's coming up on a month.
It is coming up on a month. It doesn't feel like a month, though, because most of that month would have been spent on holiday anyway, given that it was, Christmas break and all.
Yeah. But you were being paid for that time off as opposed to now where you are.
I assume so.
I assume you're not. I mean, I assume you're not being paid to walk over Putney Bridge, but you tell me.
I mean, not that I'm aware of, no. No, I would take that opportunity though. If any of your listeners are in the business of paying people to walk bridges, I will happily.
You think you're the man for the job?
Yeah, I would resume employment immediately if that were the case.
There's a lot of competition for this role, Tommy boy.
What makes you uniquely qualified to walk over bridges for money?
Yeah, So, listen, tell me. You messaged me. I was recording an episode of my podcast. You said that you were listening to me in the bath. I thought this is very troubling. So I thought I'd give you a call and just check that you're all right. You know, now you're by yourself a lot more of the day. How have you been doing? You know, what are you doing to fill your time?
I mean, you could probably guess what I've been doing to spend my time. Not that. The other thing that I'm known to do.
That's
alone.
the only thing I could think of.
Yeah, that's. I knew
Wait,
that was the
working
first
out
thing
like
you'd
a
think of.
beast? Have you gone into beast mode?
Oh, that too.
Yes.
I have attempted to resume beast mode because if I wish to resume employment as a trainer, I may at some point need to look the part.
Yeah, it is weird when you like see like, I don't know, there's like they'll have B-roll of like a boxing gym or something and be like, come on, yep, hit the bag, and you're like, but look at you're fucking well out of shape, mate. You kind of do have to look the part, don't you?
To con people into paying you money, you absolutely should. I'm kind of the opinion that, you know, I've heard stories of like an Olympic swim coach who couldn't swim, but he was a phenomenal coach and took the team to, you know, Olympic gold. But
right.
at the same time,
That's
I mean,
fair.
that's not a selling point, is it? If he
Well-
was an Olympic swim coach who was also, you know, an Olympic level swimmer, it would be a bit of a better sell.
You'd think so, right? But it's like, so in football, there's like most managers are like ex-players, right? But then there's the occasional person who's like, I was a student of the game. And it's like, I guess it's like, in a way, it's a bit like academia. It's like, you know, some
Sounds
people
like Ted
are
Lasso.
researchers, some people I've still not seen Ted Lasso, but I will get around to it. I promise. Have you seen Let's Flats? Now,
Have I seen?
yeah, I know. I just went. That's how I talk now. You got to check it out, man. It's the most hilarious sitcom. It's called Let's Flats, and it's about
I will put it on the
North
list.
London letting agent who's hapless and hilarious.
I mean, that's a comedy goldmine right there.
It is comedy gold. It's really, really, really funny. And there's 3 seasons. You can just binge them all. Have you been binging? Is that something you've been doing with your time? Or have you been writing? Have you been productive? Procrastination? What's the deal?
I flit between recording myself talking, which is the only thing that stops it from being complete and utter madness, is the fact that I'm recording it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would just be a man standing in the dark talking to himself. And then I either try and transcribe, or once I've gotten the thought out, I resume whatever I was doing. But no binge watching of anything. I don't seem to have that capacity. I wish I did.
What do you mean? Why? What happens? Do you get
I get
distracted by your
distracted.
phone?
Yeah, I get distracted by the content of what I'm watching, and then I start writing something or start developing an idea.
That's all
which
right,
is not
though.
a bad way to be
No,
distracted.
yeah, because I've got friends who like they can't watch stuff because they're like, oh, I just want to doom scroll Instagram or something like that, and it's like,
No.
that's a terrible reason to not just pay attention to the show in front of you. But if you actually, you know, hey man, it's like jazz. I'm getting all these ideas, dude. And that's all right, isn't it? That's fine.
It's something. It makes me feel productive, even if none of the ideas go anywhere.
Even if you're just writing down the word fish 400 times. It's still something, though. Yes, so any New Year's resolutions?
The same ones as last year, which gives the indication they aren't really working.
Are they not tweaked at all? Have you just been like, roll them over?
I mean, I've put 2022 on the top, so yeah, I tweaked them a little.
Is this your mood
No.
board? I know you're
it's
big
not-
into mood boards.
Oh yeah, me and my mood boards. Could you just clarify, just for the viewers, the listeners,
Of course,
rather?
yes.
What is a mood board?
What is a mood board? Of course, yeah, absolutely. Just for the listeners, of course, because of course. Mood board is where you get, all these images that inspire you and put you in a certain frame of mind. Like, here's a guy hitting a tennis ball. Here's a guy celebrating with their family. Here's a guy winning a check from the lottery or whatever. And it's like, these are my aspirational goals. This is the zone I'm in. You know who'd know a lot about this? Peter.
He probably would.
I bet
Probably
clients want mood boards from him every day.
It sounds Sounds like a mind map, but with emotions.
Yeah, and it's a bit more wanky as well. And I think it's kind of related to what is this one called? You know, where it's like the one where you set your intentions. Like all those crazy people who are successful who are like, I wrote it down and then it happened. That's all you have to do. It's like The Secret, but there's some word for like the thing. Right, The Secret is like the ideology, and then there's a word for like the piece of paper that you write on or whatever.
Manifest your destiny.
Yeah, there we go. That'll do. Yeah, sure.
Oh, turns out I did know what you were talking about.
So there we go. You've been manifesting much of your destiny lately.
Not even a little bit. No, that does not sound like my cup of tea.
Talking to me right now is manifesting a bit of destiny. I put you on IMDb. You're on IMDb now.
Oh,
so there we go.
As a not as a comedian,
playing the role of Tom Leo. How does that feel? Comfortable?
Yeah, I'm pleased to be on IMDb as a what is it? Not a self-autobiographical, just an autobiographical.
Sure.
Well, was it an actor?
Well, I don't know. Depends. Do you want to give me your finest monologue?
I believe I am currently.
No, but act.
You keep interrupting, but I was giving it a shot, mate. Yeah.
I tell you what. Why don't we do a scene? Okay. Here's the scene. All right. You are a dad. Like you're overworked. You're overstressed. You're trying to bring food home and onto the table. Times are tough. You get home, and I am your beleaguered wife. I'm happy to see you, but little do I know that you have a secret that's been gnawing away at you, and today is the day that you're going to tell me what that is. Okay?
Good Lord.
Ready?
Could you repeat that?
Okay, so broad brushstrokes. Your dad, we got kids, times are tough, you're getting home, I'm there, times are tough, you've got the secret, you decide what it is, and today is the day you unburden yourself. Now remember, no laughing unless it's funny.
Of course. I don't actually foresee much laughter in this relationship.
Hey, well maybe that's the problem. Wait, let's not jump ahead. Okay, all right. Okay. And action.
Hello.
What was that? Where was the door opening?
That is called comic relief, mate.
You just appeared at my shoulder and went, hello.
Did you want me to do the sounds of the doors opening?
Okay, I'll do the sounds. Okay, ready? And action.
This door needs some fucking oil.
I know, darling. I'm working on it. It's just times are, the purse strings are a little bit tight. How are you anyway?
I'm fine, another day, another dollar. You?
Oh, yes. Okay. Can I see that dollar this time? Or
you know that all of our money goes into our joint account, which only you have access to.
It just seems rather threadbare again this month.
Well, I can't help it if I haven't had a pay rise during a pandemic.
Right, but it would be nice to have a pay during the pandemic.
Look,
anyway,
I do a lot of pro bono work. You know that.
I wish you wouldn't. Anyway, so for dinner we have porridge again. Kids, here you go. So, darling, how are you? You look stressed.
Which one are you again?
I'm your wife, Roisin.
And that one is Roisin.
That's Timmy, Long John, and Adriana, our lovely children.
Did we not get them name tags?
Can
we get them name tags?
No, I know you have this thing in your brain that we've been meaning to get seen, but you should try and remember them. They are your children, your progeny.
I have a lot on my plate at the moment. Okay,
a lot on
remembering names. It's not high on the priority list.
What do you mean a lot on your plate?
Well, I've got porridge for starters. Why didn't you put it in a bowl, you muppet?
I wish you wouldn't call me names.
Sorry, Miss Muppet.
Okay, so did you have something you wanted to say to me, like a secret you've been meaning to get off your chest, or anything? And cut. When were you going to get to the secret?
Whoa.
Okay.
Hello.
You can't just turn into a robot and use that as an excuse.
Last I heard was some sort of pitiful please don't call me, and then I heard the sound that Omicron makes when it transforms.
Well, you know what happened is, look, the scene was going along, and can I just say, good job.
Oh, thanks.
But when were you going to get to your fucking secret, mate? What is this?
I was working up to it.
It was taking an age.
My secret was going to be that I'm
Go on.
actually allergic to porridge, and I've been spending all of our money on anti-allergen medication, and that's why we don't have any.
Oh, no. So we don't have good communication in our marriage.
Well, I blame that on you because
I think I see the problem.
because otherwise I'd have to blame myself, and I don't think my ego could handle that.
Well, I thought that was very good. Well done. I think a career in being paid to walk bridges and keep secrets is on the horizon.
And improvise porridge-based scenes.
Speaking of porridge-based scenes, which is a great segue, I got a Google whack. Wait, is it called a Google whack today? Is a Google whack when you get like only one hit? Or
I've no idea.
have you not? Oh, yeah. So a Google whack is where you do a Google search and you return a single result.
Oh.
Right? I got something even more than that. I searched something a word I'd made up that returned 0 results, and I think I should like patent it straight away, right?
Yeah.
And here's what
What are you
is.
going to call it though?
Well,
Okay.
here's the word: Chewtorial.
Is that chew with a CH?
Yeah, it works.
Ah, I could hear it when you said it.
Thank you. Trained diction. Mm-hmm. What do you think? Chewtorial.
Chewtorials.
Do you know what it is? Can you
I'm
guess?
not understanding.
But could you, if you had to sort of try and work out what it might be?
Okay, so chew, CHEW.
Yep.
As in to masticate.
Yep.
And torial, is that TORIAL?
Yep.
Well, I mean, is that like instead of tutorial, you've gone tutorial, and that's because there's nothing left because Google has eaten it all?
No, there's a. Oh, you know what? I've been spelling it wrong. There's loads of results for it. Shit.
That's if that was planned, that was brilliant. Otherwise,
not.
Maybe
So
read more.
the idea was what it would be is, you know, that thing where like scientists say you're meant to chew your food between 25 and 32 times before you swallow. That thing.
AKA mastication. Yep.
Yes, mastication. So it was tutorial would be teaching people how to chew. Like a tutorial. See, it works on so many levels. Unfortunately, there's not only a YouTube channel for it with 123 subscribers, there's also a number of hits, and I was just spelling it incorrectly. So.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to say I've learned something new today,
No.
but I've definitely heard words in an order that I hadn't previously heard
There
them.
we go. That's about as much as I could hope for, I think. That's
something.
really what I'm going for. That's my SEO. Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
How are you? I didn't ask you at the beginning of this
Thank you.
shenanigan.
Thank you very much. I'm okay. I'm 10 days into dry January.
Woo! How's it going?
It's going all right, man. I'm into the crazy period before I get into the bored period, so it's pretty good. I'm still like enjoying it as opposed to being like, I wish I could have a fucking. So that's.
It is quite nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
I wish I wasn't so all or nothing. That I could just sort of do this a bit more often.
That would be nice, wouldn't it? That's kind of we're doing the same thing, and that's kind of the mentality that we have as well. Is why can't we just go out for a drink?
Yeah.
Why is it always the night's over at 3 the next day?
Yeah. Well, my question is, why can't a drink be as fun as many, many drinks?
That is a good question, actually.
If we could do that, it wouldn't be a problem.
It's a dose-response relationship, isn't it?
Ooh, tell me,
A little
teach
bit
me,
doesn't
tutorial.
do anything. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, if you have one paracetamol, nothing happens. If you have the recommended 2 paracetamol, you get pain relief. If you have the very much not recommended packet of paracetamol, you get acute liver failure and die.
Right.
So,
The problem
dose
is
response relationship.
but the government recommended dose of alcohol is
It's
like
woefully low.
it just doesn't do anything. You have it and you're like, I mean, that tasted quite nice, but what the whole point of alcohol is to get a buzz, right, and have fun with friends or
Absolutely.
by yourself.
However you get down.
No. Obviously, better to have a buzz and have fun with friends, and it's a social thing. But how much? What is the government? Is it 14 units a week?
I don't know.
I think it's 14 units of alcohol. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not from here, and I also preemptively disagree.
So that's 10 small glasses of low-strength wine or 6 pints of average-strength beer a week.
What's low-strength wine? Is that grape juice?
I'm guessing they're saying like below 10%. I mean, that bullshit stuff that you get in, that's like suspiciously cheap, and you're like, £1 for a bottle of wine, and it's like actually 6% or something.
Nah, yeah, it doesn't sound like my cup of tea.
No,
or bottle of wine.
Thank you.
See, I mean, the most recent thing I've read on governments and alcohol, aside from the Christmas do, was something about governments wanting to put cancer warnings on alcohol bottles, the same as they do cigarettes, because of the carcinogenic nature of alcohol. But I just don't think that
that's going to change anything.
I'm going to come up with some bullshit reason why I don't think that's a good idea. And the real reason, the honest reason is, I don't want to be reminded that my good time comes at a price.
Yes.
That's what hangovers are for.
I think that's an interesting point. I think actually that's not the shit that changed anything with smoking, I reckon. Like, I think it's the forced ostracization from society, right? It's like you're not allowed to smoke indoors anymore, and now you're not allowed to smoke in maybe like a park or something, and there's like all these things where it's like they force you further and further away from the group, and then so more and more people are like, I can't be fucking bothered, and then just eventually quit. But like, if you have places that are pubs and off licenses that literally only exist to sell alcohol and perhaps even serve it to you, like, I don't think them saying warning it's going to give you cancer. I mean, do they put that on salami? Because I'm pretty sure.
Well, no, very good point. Very good point.
I had I did a blood test recently. I found out I had slightly high bad cholesterol. Which is great, obviously. So I've been eating plant stenols, which I had no idea what they were until now, and I still don't really know. But apparently they were
plant stemols.
Stenol. A plant.
Stenol.
Stenol, yeah. It's like
is that the bit from the flower, or is
that's a good point. It's an organic compound with formula C17H28O. Does that make sense?
Huh.
It is therefore an alcohol of gonane. What? I thought I was alcohol free. No, I think this is like the technical term of alcohol. It's like it's a supplement that you take to lower your cholesterol. It's taken from plants.
Is this one of those supplements that is approved by and administered by doctors, or is this one of those?
This is one of those actual they've done studies on it type thing instead of just
lovely.
So pretty good.
That is good.
Yeah. So I've been trying to do that, lower the old not testosterone.
I've got a trick to lower the old testosterone. Mate.
I don't want to.
You just have to stress yourself mad.
What does that take? It if you're stressed, you have lower T.
I'm pretty certain it does. Yeah.
What is that like?
There's a lot of things that can lower T. Yeah, cortisol is the stress response hormone, but I mean, I'm not the guy to ask about its relationship to testosterone, but I do believe that stress can be a pretty big factor in lowering testosterone levels.
What if you were really what's it called? Hysterical strength. You know, where like your kid's trapped under the car and you're like, and you pick up the whole car.
Well, that's adrenaline, and that's also acute stress.
Right.
So if you get acute stress, that you'll get an adrenal response.
Right.
Which I think involves cortisol at some level, but not in the same way that... Actually, no, it probably is in the same way that if you have long-term chronic stress, you're going to get higher levels of cortisol than you want.
I mean, you
Plus-
say you're not the guy to ask on this, but you seem to know all of the facts.
No,
and you're a
I
man
just
on a bridge.
speak as though I do. No, I speak as though I know what I'm talking about. And yeah, I occasionally remember things that I've read accurately, and most of the time, not very accurately.
No, it looks like the
So-
internet agrees with you. Harvard.edu.
Oh, good. Good.
That's
I didn't
pretty
get Google
legit.
whacked or
You didn't get Google whacked,
or
yeah.
whatever you said.
My tutorial.
Tutorial. Sorry, I thought you said something else.
Yep. No, didn't. Scholar.harvard.edu. And the author is Tom Leo.
Damn, found out. I've
Um,
secretly been smart all this time.
so what's your plan, man? Now, New Year, 10th of Jan. You got your goals. You're doing. What's the comedy plan? Tell me your goals. Let's set them out now, so that when they never come true, you can listen back and think, "What the fuck was I thinking?"
Is it nice? Is it nice to know that the last thing I'm going to hear before my suicide is your voice mocking me on a podcast 10 years ago?
For the record,
no.
Tom's very funny. There we go.
Oh, that wasn't funny. That
There we
was just
go.
a little bit of suicide humor. Anyone could do that. I don't have a concrete plan because I do not know what the future holds. I am currently taking a deep breath, figuratively and literally, because I'm very unfit and I just stopped walking. I'm essentially taking stock of my desires and my situation, and just gonna kind of wing it like I always do, and see what happens.
Yeah.
No, I'm broadly speaking on a very slow, steady course for searching for different employment. No idea what that might be, and simultaneously reinvigorating my love of my hobby, which is performing comedy.
So when was the last time you did a set?
That's a very good question. It was sometime last year during one of the windows in the pandemic. I don't actually remember, but yeah, the combination of a pandemic and the lack of being able to do anything after work made last year almost as unfruitful as the previous in terms of
I count the last 2
gigging.
years as the same year.
Yeah, that feels like the same year, doesn't it?
Yeah.
2022 kind of snuck in there like. When was 2021? What did we do for that? Oh, it was just 2020 again, wasn't it? 2020 2.0.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But do you think 2022 is going to smash it? Do you think it's going to be a wicked year?
Here's the thing. Yeah. I don't want to say no because I don't want to be that guy. But what I really don't want to do is get my hopes up that things are going to be wonderful. I think things will be broadly better. They seem to be better. We've got an insane number of positive cases every day, but the deaths aren't as high as they were when we had similar cases previously. You know, from what I've read, I'm not an expert on anything at all. Don't listen to a word I say, but I will continue to speak as though I know what I'm talking about.
Good.
I am cautiously optimistic.
I like that.
But at the same time, part of being cautiously optimistic, combine that with being nihilistic, is not getting your hopes up too much.
Yes, but being excessively optimistic just makes you psychotic. You know, I mean,
it does, yeah,
right,
and prone to disappointment.
Well, that's true. Plan for the worst, hope for the best. No,
absolutely.
That's the way. That's the way to go. If we've learned anything,
that's the way to make yourself a paranoid recluse.
Yeah, well, I'm going to join you on that mild cautionary optimism for 2022.
That's a very good idea.
Yeah,
I think it's a healthy middle ground, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not exactly cynicism. It's not exactly being negative, but it's also not not being gung ho.
It's sitting on. Let's call it what it is. We're sitting on the fucking fence, and it's right up.
Yeah,
our
yeah,
arse,
absolutely.
okay?
We're trying to romanticize being indecisive, and not wanting to get hurt by our own expectations.
Right, mate. I've got to go. thanks for coming on the pod.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, follow Tom Leo down the street whenever you can. And
Across the bridge and pay him money.
Pay him to cross bridges. Let's meet up soon, yeah, bud?
We will.
All right.
All
Take
right.
care, man.
Love you, buddy.
You too. Bye. Thanks for listening to the show. If you've enjoyed it, please give us 5 stars and consider becoming a subscriber and maybe even supporting us on Patreon. Really, really, really helps me continue making this show. If you haven't enjoyed it, then you can fuck off. Many, many thanks to Nils Hennis Steer for the amazing music and to Dave Fox for the cool artwork. Please keep coming back every week for more Bliss of the Abyss.
Message 1.